Hello, give me just a moment here. Just one moment, getting something set up here. Okay, so I will go ahead and get started. I want to, first of all, thank you so much for being here. And today, my live is going to be about navigating the uncertainties in life while still trying to live. There's a lot going on in the world, and we are all trying to navigate life the best that we can. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. And I'm here tonight today. It's afternoon here in Northern Nevada. It's a little after 1:30, and it's a little bit rainy and gloomy, but I like it that way. I guess you could say I'm weird like that. So, anyways, as I was mentioning, I wanted to talk about today how to survive uncertain times. Because let's be honest, a lot of people are feeling the pressure right now. The economy feels heavy, jobs feel uncertain, housing is expensive, families are stretched, seniors are trying to make it on fixed incomes. And not only seniors, there's many that are trying to make it on fixed incomes. And fixed could either mean something like Social Security disability. It can mean that you're on a job or jobs that are not paying enough and you are stretching yourself really thin. Um, Many younger people are still trying to figure it out, navigating going to school, just getting out of high school, going into college, finishing college, and there are some challenges with finding jobs. So many are frustrated on many levels. Many are still having to be at home, and that's not just the younger people. Many people are banding together and sharing a roof to pull their resources together. Not saying that anything is wrong with that. It's just sometimes it can make younger people question their independence, or even an older person question their independence. So, um, I just wanted to start the conversation off with that. And let's not forget those that are incarcerated. I'm not here to judge or pass judgment or encourage judgment on anyone, because not everyone that is incarcerated is guilty. Number one, sometimes many people, due to lack of resources, are forced to take so called deals um, or gamble with their life and the lives of the ones that care for them. And then, of course, there are those that, deserve to be incarcerated. At the end of the day, I do believe that they are still human. They still have people that care for them, that love them, and I would hope that are encouraging them to become better humans, even if they are incarcerated or maybe incarcerated for a long time or even for life or maybe sentenced to um, death. Nevertheless, it's not my job to judge. I am not God, far from, and um, I just know that I'm not a Bible thumper, but it does say, do not forget about the prisoners. So I do not forget about the prisoners. And lastly, on my tangent, if we all think back, I'm pretty sure there's something that we've done in life that could have led us to jail or prison. So I just always think about that and try not to pass judgment. So today, just wanted to have a real conversation, not a perfect conversation, not a polished one, just a real one. So, on that note, Also, if you are new here, my name is Veronica. I am here on YouTube. I'm here, number one, to be consistent. I want to show up for myself and show up for those that are joining me on this journey. Um, I'm a 54-year-old woman. I just graduated with my bachelor's in organization and project management. So I was navigating a lot through these last 4 years. Um, so I wasn't able to show up consistently the way I wanted to, and I kind of felt like I was spreading myself all over the place. Nevertheless, I'm not about excuses. That is just what it is. And now the school is over, I want to dedicate more time to showing up consistently on YouTube to document my journey. And my hope and prayer is that I'm able to help those with my knowledge, not just book knowledge, my lived knowledge. And as a life coach, I've coached many through their journey. So some of the things that I've helped others with, I'm hoping that I will be able to help more. So that is my purpose in being here. I'm not into perfection. So if you're looking for perfection, I'm not your girl. Um, I'm not yet into cleaning up videos. What you see is what you're going to get. And I hope that you're more focused on my message than, um, than the presentation. So, on that note, I will move on into, let me check in my little notes here. Um, so, if some of you don't know, I am the founder of Softer Life Beyond Trauma. So, please feel free to check out my website, and that's www Softer Life Beyond Trauma. And that's where I help, people heal, organize, and move forward softly through life transitions. So, my work includes document organization, life transition support, notary services. I am here in Northern Nevada, but my commission does allow me to provide services throughout the entire state of Nevada, including marriage officiation. So, anyone getting married in Nevada, hey, maybe I can help you out. So, I also help to create softer life systems. I, I facilitate reentry conversations, garden therapy, and practical tools for people who are trying to rebuild their lives without being overwhelmed. I can't underline that enough. I know so many of us are overwhelmed right now, and sometimes it can just be scary. It can, really raise the roof on anxiety and so on. But I'm here to help you walk through that. Not saying I have all the answers, not saying I'm perfect, because I am navigating that situation also. So, let's see, where am I at in my notes? Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, I've been away for a while, and in all honesty, a lot of that is due to life is life. And I was, as I mentioned, trying to finish up school, handling family responsibilities. I am a mom. I am divorced, so I've been a single mom for a number of years. I have two boys, two girls, and all of them are adults. Um, Everyone's 20 and above. I have one turning 30, I have one turning 21. So you can imagine that can be challenging at times, learning to stay in my lane as a parent, but still give advice, still be caring, and so on, but allowing my adult children to make their mistakes and live life too. So, um, as I previously mentioned, I did complete my BAS, and that was a huge chapter for me. It took focus, discipline, and a lot of showing up, even when I was tired. And many times I was tired. Some of you may know, and for those that don't know, I've navigated, quite a few things in life, and not to say, woe is me. No, I'm not on that soapbox. But, I had a stroke in 2019. Um, I had breast cancer 2020, 2021, 2022. Lost my dad to cancer in 2022 and still had to go to radiation and so on. So that was really heavy for me. And it's been a lot, but God has held me. I've had a lot of tearful moments and a lot of doubt and just a lot. But one thing I was committed to is just to keep getting up and keep putting one foot in front of the other. Um, I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. And yeah, when you pair all that together, stress and so on, that can culminate into a stroke, that can culminate into breast cancer and so on. But nevertheless, like they say, there is a blessing after the lessons. And the blessing is I'm still here. I'm still able to give back to others and what I've learned from my experiences in life and, continue to share and continue to move on. So I'm grateful, very grateful for that because things could, be a lot worse. Excuse me there. So, um, with that being said, I've also, helped my mom navigate her journey from the West Coast to the South and then from the South back to the West Coast. And we did that together as a family um, in a matter of 6 months. So that was a lot. Leaving one coast in September and deciding, it just wasn't for her. And that's the way life is sometimes. And you just don't know until you try. But the way I look at it, nothing's lost. It's better to navigate that than to always be wondering or in the back of your head, should I have done that? So, hey, we did that. Wasn't easy, but we got her done. Um, and personally, been thinking deeply about, family, relocation, business, peace, and what I want, in my next season of my life and what that may look like. So, I'm still navigating, still figuring some things out too. And as I mentioned, that cross country trip, that experience reminded me that sometimes we have to step outside of what is familiar to see what is possible. So I learned a lot in that. And there were tiny bits where I did have some peace. It was not that it was unpeaceful, but did have some rest and to really try to, collect my thoughts. But then again, it was spring break. So I was working against the clock with making sure assignments were being submitted and getting um, back across the country safely. All right. So, now, as I mentioned, it's about deciding what's next. Um, and for me, this season of my life is about asking myself what brings me peace, what helps me live softer, what kind of work feels aligned, what kind of community do I want around me, what do I need to release so I can move forward. And those are some things I've been thinking about ever since I would say the beginning of the year, but more so now that school is over, I'm able to really focus in and I'm all about doing exactly what Veronica wants to do and nothing more, nothing less outside of, our my natural obligations like breathing and, taking care of financial responsibility. Outside of that, if I don't want to do it, stepping off that people pleasing boat and honoring myself and peacefully declining. So, as I mentioned before, I don't have every answer yet, but I do know this: I am committed to showing up for myself. And I hope that you are too. And part of showing up for myself means showing up here too, as I mentioned. So, my plan is Wednesdays and Saturdays. Haven't quite narrowed down a time, but it looks like early afternoons work best. But, let me know in the comments if, a better time for you may work, and maybe I can make that happen. So, going forward, my goal, as I mentioned, is to show up on YouTube consistently, Wednesdays and Saturdays. Um, I would say I want to create a place, a space where we can talk about real things that affect real people. That simple, real life. And we'll talk about survival, healing, money, family, jobs, aging, reentry, relocation, organization, and how to simplify life when the world feels chaotic. And I think you all can agree this world feels pretty chaotic more times than often. Um, this isn't about pretending everything is okay. I'm not with that. Everything is not okay. But I think as we come together in community, we can navigate things and support one another. And that is part of that is building your community, finding your circle, finding your people. And those people may not be in your household, they may not be in your city, may not be in your state, may not even be in your country. But put out there what you want to receive and allow yourself to gravitate towards that. So, my main topic today is how to survive uncertain times. Surviving uncertain times is not just about money, although money matters. Sorry, I have a message here. All right, sorry about that, YouTube. I guess I've been gone so long. It says it wants to verify that it's really me. So it's really me. So, as I was saying, it's not just about money, but although money does matter, it is also about emotional survival, mental survival, spiritual survival, family survival, community survival. So, when life feels uncertain, we need systems, we need support, information, practical steps, and we need honest conversations. So, that is what I'm here for and what I plan to facilitate. So, I hope you're on board with that. So, some of the additional topics that, I want to discuss here will be jobs and work. One thing I want to talk more about on this channel is jobs because I hear and see everywhere, jobs are far and few or they're not paying enough. And sometimes that means we may have to think outside the box and create our own jobs, meaning possible self employment, contract work, and so on. But I do plan to go deeper into that as a lot of people are trying to figure this out. So, you know, usually the number one question is, how do I make money right now? How do I start over after a gap in employment? How do I find work if I'm older? How do I find work if I have a background issue? How do I build income without burning myself out? So, those are the type of questions I hope we can answer collectively and be a support to one another and provide answers and resources. So, of course, we'll be talking about traditional jobs, side hustles, remote work, gig work, small business ideas, and realistic ways to create income. Not everyone wants hustle culture. Been there, done that, and for me, it's just too much, and I'm not signing up for that. So, some of us want steady, peaceful, simple income that helps us live. That's where I'm at. So, another topic I plan to cover on this channel is seniors. We also need to talk about seniors. Many seniors are trying to survive on fixed incomes while food, rent, utilities, and medical costs keep going up. And it's not just seniors, but I want to focus some time on seniors because many times they're overwhelmed and there's sometimes shame or embarrassment surrounded around asking for help or not having knowledge or the recent skills to navigate resources. So that causes many seniors to be lonely. Some are caregiving, some need help organizing documents, some are trying to downsize and just don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed. Some are trying to stay independent. So again, here on this channel, I will include conversations about aging with dignity, organization, or organizing important paperwork, simplifying the home, and finding resources. So I hope that, that is something of interest and something you have um, some input on, and that maybe you can share some resources too. So, my other topic that I plan to cover on this channel is reentry. Reentry is another topic close to my heart because when someone comes home from incarceration, they are not just coming home to freedom, they are coming home to rent, food costs, job applications, background checks, technology, transportation needs, family expectations, and emotional pressure. And many times that can send many to possibly their old ways, um, possibly thinking about ending, life and so on. Um, and sometimes it can lead to domestic violence or worse. So families on the outside are also struggling. They are sending money, taking calls, helping with commissary, trying to keep hope alive and preparing for release while they're trying to navigate this uncertain world too. So we need more real conversations about reentry, not judgment. I think we all, if we look in the mirror, there are some things that we wish we haven't, we didn't participate in or didn't do, and so on. So it's not about judgment. We need to talk about it. So, in a nutshell, my topics will include housing, jobs, documents, transportation, family support, boundaries, mental health, practical planning, affordable ways to restart. And topic number 10, I think, is one of the most important ones, affordability. So, affordability is affecting everyone. Groceries are high, rent is high, insurance is high, gas is high. Even trying to rest can cost money now. Imagine that. So, we'll talk about practical ways to cut costs, simplify, use what we already have, grow food where we can, reduce waste, and build softer survival systems. That may include gardening, composting, cooking simple meals, couponing, sharing resources, house sitting, bartering, downsizing, and making careful decisions before jumping into big expense. I know that's a lot, but we can, break it down piece by piece. So I briefly talked about younger people, but I want to give them a space too, or a space that we all can navigate some of the things that younger people are dealing with. So, a lot of younger adults are overwhelmed. They are trying to figure out school, work, rent, relationships, purpose, and money all at the same time. Many of them are not lazy, they are tired. They are trying to survive in a world that keeps changing along with us. And sometimes we tend to think, oh, well, they're younger, they should have more energy. That may be true, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they come with more bandwidth. Just saying. So, we need intergenerational conversations. We need wisdom from older adults and fresh ideas from younger people. We need to stop judging each other and start listening. Just simple as that. So, I'll also be sharing more details, resources, and written posts on my blogs and websites. So, for more detailed information, please feel free to visit my blog, healthylifecoach702.com. And that is for blog posts, reflections, resources, and real life conversations. And you can visit my website, www.softerlifebeyondtrauma.com, to learn more about my services, resources, and the work I'm building through Softer Life Beyond Trauma. So, as I bring this to a close, before we go further, I want to invite you to support this channel. If this conversation speaks to you, yeah. If this conversation speaks to you, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, subscribe to the channel. Come back on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I would love to have you here. Your support helps this work grow and reach people who may be quietly trying to survive their own uncertain season. So, other ways you can support through Buy Me a Coffee. Um, so that support helps me continue creating content, resources, printable guides, blog posts, and conversations for people navigating life transitions, reentry, affordability, caregiving, and healing. You can support here by going to buymeacoffee.com/softerlife. That's buymeacoffee.com/softerlife. Every like, share, comment, subscription, and coffee helps. So, as I close out here, I want to leave you with this. Uncertain times do not mean you are powerless. You may need to slow down. You may need to simplify. You may need to ask for help. You may need to rebuild differently. You may need to release what no longer fits. But you are not done. You can still heal. You can still organize your life. You can still make decisions that bring more peace. You can still create a softer life, even in hard times. Thank you for being here with me. I'm Veronica, and my work is all about helping people heal, organize, and move forward softly. I'll see you again on Wednesday and Saturdays. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and visit the website at www.softerlifebeyondtrauma.com or check out my blog post at healthylifecoach702.com. And remember to take care of yourself. Take one soft step at a time. And thank you. I will see you in the next one.